Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Res. So at the beginning of last year, I was talking to my friends about starting this podcast, and I asked my friend if she wanted to co-host the podcast with me because she's so funny. And I was telling her all these wicked hunting and fishing stories I heard over the years, and I started telling her about some of my brother's wicked res tales, like the time he got bit in the face by a pike, or when he killed a fish with a rock. So I was telling her about this other time he killed a moose, and he killed it with one of his caveman clubs, and then another time him and his friends stomped a beaver to death when they were kids, and she was like, oh my god, did he do all those things out of anger or hunger? And I was like, honestly, I have no idea, but he's going to be the first guest on our show and we can ask him. And then there was a time he went missing for 7 days back in 2021. He was hunting and he got stuck with his truck, and he had no cell phone reception, so he had to climb this big mountain trying to get cell service, and he ended up getting lost. I think he ended up seeing Wendigo that time, and I don't know, hopefully I could get him on Tales from the Res soon. Told him stop being cheap with his cool legends. So, I'll just continue on with some of my own flashback res tales. I had a few funny stories, flashbacks about my friend who was supposed to co-host the show. And, actually, first I'll start with a story about our dads. So, our dads grew up together, they were best friends, first cousins, and they started a band together when they were kids, and they still jam out together to this day. So, their band was real good, and they were always getting these gigs, and they're like the fucking Beatles of the res or whatever. So, I'll try to pull up a picture or video of their band. So anyways, this is the story I heard on the local radio station here in KZ. They were playing at this old bar in town, which has been there since the beginning of time, Murphy's Hotel. It was just torn down recently, and it's where the Tim Hortons is in Maniwaki. So anyways, they're playing at Murphy's bar, and in the middle of their set, the SQ, the town cops, pulled out and raided the bar, and they started carting everyone, and the guys in the band, they were just kids, they're not even old enough to be in the bar. Well, like teenagers. And I don't know if they got kicked out or if they were allowed to finish their set or what, but anyways, yeah, our dads go way back. I'm sure they got some wicked res tales of their own too. Hopefully we could get them on here one day. So, yeah, it makes sense that me and Ish became best friends. Like, our dads are best friends and they go way back, so she was so funny, and yeah, anyways, I'll share a few funny flashbacks I had of her after she passed away. I think I already shared the story about the time she flipped us over in a canoe in the middle of April. But, yeah, she told me a few funny stories. This one time she was telling me about this time she was all smashed at Electric Powwow in Ottawa, and she ended up meeting Dallas Goldtooth, or whatever his name is, the unknown warrior on Reservation Dogs. So she said she met him at the bar, and after meeting her, he goes up to her friend she was with, and he's like, "You ever sloshed that one?" And he walks away. And yeah, that's how I'll always remember her, just the life of the party, never a dull moment. So, I remember this other time, it was like Christmas 2012 or 2013 or something. Calls me up and it's all loud, like she's at the club or at the bar or something, and she's like, "Yo, KO, you're not gonna believe who I'm partying with right now." I'm like, "Who?" I thought she was gonna say like one of our other friends or something, and she's like, "It's a Christmas miracle. I found Jesus on Christmas night." I was probably drunk too, because I was like, "Get the fuck out of here. Did you really meet Jesus?" And she's like, "I swear to God, it's him. It's the Jesus." And, so I hear the guy in the background and he's like yelling over the music. He's like, "I told you it's Jesus." And she's like, "Well, he says it's Jesus, but I know it's him, Jesus Christ." I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, have fun. You should be safe partying with Jesus on his birthday, I guess." So I hang up. And then a few minutes later, my other friend calls me up. My friend Ivy, and she's like, "Yo, KO, you're never gonna believe where I am." I'm like, "Where are you?" And I hear like a big party going on in the background, and she's like, "I'm partying at some rave at this abandoned church." I'm like, "Are you with Beatles?" She just called me like a few minutes ago, and she said she was partying with Jesus Christ, and she's like, "No, I'm by myself." Freaking crazy girls. Anyways, another flashback I had. So after me and my had kids, we used to go to all these activities and community events together, and this one time we're at like the kids' Valentine's Day dance or something, and she comes to talk to me. I'm like waiting in line for food, and she comes up to me and like cuts in line and starts talking to me, and I'm like, I start bitching her out. I'm like, "Go to the back of the line. People are gonna get mad at us." And I look back and people are like side-eyeing us and shit. I'm like, "Hey, whatever you do." She's like, "Don't worry about it. Nobody even noticed." I'm like, "Hey, well, whatever you do, don't look back. Just keep moving forward." So then after we're like sitting down eating, and I'm like, "I can't believe you cut in line. Fuck, people are gonna be saying like, 'Oh, I heard she cuts in line in front of elders at community feast.'" She's like, "Oh my God, are people gonna say that?" I was like, "No, just kidding." And then, yeah, she would always send me memes about like eating the spirit plate and shit like that. And a few months after that, she's like asking if I wanted to go to another activity, and she's like, "It says free dinner for the first 60 people, so let's get there early." And then she's like, "Remember when I cut in line in front of everyone and you were all outraged?" Like, yeah, man. Not cool. So, oh yeah, one last story I'm going to share about her. I was telling her sister, every time I need a good laugh, I just go back and read all our old messages, and it's like non-stop laughing. So anyways, I sent her a screenshot of this one conversation we had about Mr. Potato Head. I was like, "Fuck, did you know Gen Z canceled Mr. Potato Head and he has no gender now?" And she's like, "What the fuck? That's impossible. He has a wife." I'm like, "Not anymore. He's just Potato Head." And then the next morning she sends me a message. She's like, "Yo, I was up all night thinking about this, and maybe Potato Head is gender neutral because he doesn't have a penis or a badge to stick on." I was like, "Oh my God, you're so crazy, losing sleep over this shit." Anyways, yeah, that's it for this episode of Tales from the Res. If you enjoyed these stories, stay tuned for the next episode. Just wanted to add this other little side note too before I forget. So that picture of my dad and his band, Sid said that that's when they played in Montreal. They had a gig in Montreal for like a week or two or something, and they were able to take a week off of school. And he said that they were a bunch of savs roaming the streets of Montreal, oblivious to the dangers, and that they had chicks from Montreal asking for their autographs and shit. And another little side note I wanted to add, like, that's not how I remember my friend really, like, as the life of the party. Like, I also remember her as my best friend. Like, she was always there for me. She loved my kids as much as I loved hers, and she always showed up for me. And she's the kind of friend you only get once in a lifetime. And yeah, if you enjoyed these Res Tales, stay tuned for the next episode.
Till I hear